Today we're going to go through a great range of motions, of exercises, cardio and resistance alike, to help you better your posterior chain training.
Trap money. Gotta be real with it.
So today we are training posterior chain. That word, that term, means the backside of your body, and the chain part refers to a chain of muscles and connective tissues that connects, that kinetic activity, the movement on the backside of your body. So what all that includes is it starts from the bottom, starts on the bottom of your feet, those muscles on the bottom of your feet, wrapping around your heel to your Achilles, to your calves, all the way up to your hamstrings and your glutes, and then all the way up your back, the backs of your shoulders, even up into your neck, is where the posterior chain is. That's what those muscles are. They work a lot of pulling movements, a lot of hinging movements with the hips. You've heard people train back and buys, you know, glutes and hams. That's what they're talking about there, is the posterior chain. Why do we train the posterior chain? As humans, we are very anteriorly based, which means the front side. When we look in the mirror, we see the front side of our bodies. And so often we will neglect the back. And whenever you see guys walking around kind of with the Hulk shoulders or the invisible lat syndrome, it's because they don't train the backside enough, and those muscles are very weak, they're very loose, and they don't draw their shoulders back to have good posture. It's very, very important to train the backside. There's too many people walking around with imbalance from front to back. So that's why we train it. Today we're going to go through a great range of motions, of exercises, cardio and resistance alike, to help you better your posterior chain training. So our first group of exercises is more for a low intensity cardio day. We're going to hop on the rower for 1,000 meters. And I'll talk about, how to row and what rowing does for you when we get on there. And then I'm going to grab the pancake over here, and I'm going to do 10 over the shoulder tosses. It's a more natural, more free motion type of a deadlift movement, working the posterior chain, of course. And then lastly, I'm going to hop on the ground and I'm going to do some Supermans, which I'll show you what those are here in a minute too. When you row, you want to press out with your legs, kind of in a squat motion. You want to hinge with your hips, leaning back as you row, and you want to row with your arms, of course. Don't just focus on the biceps and the elbow joint here. Focus on the shoulder girdle, pulling those shoulders back, squeezing the shoulder blades together on the back side of your body here. Now I'm going kind of slow, kind of a power rowing motion here. But when you go for 1,000 meters, you want to kind of get to a smoother transition here. Going back and forth. As soon as you get back almost, you're pulling yourself forward. You want to sink your upper and lower body as much as possible with no wasted movement to become efficient and good at rowing. It takes a lot of practice, more practice than I've had. I'm still learning. The most important part is to stay focused. Don't become mindless on here. Don't lose your head. But to get into a rhythm and get better and better every single row. The most important thing here with the over-the-shoulder tosses is that you use your hips for power and mostly keep your back flat. Everything else is kind of up to you. Stance, speed, whatever's comfortable. We're going to go 10 times here, and then jump down on the ground and get some Supermans going. Here you want to keep your elbows as straight as possible, knees locked out. Your head moves with your upper body. Squeeze and pause at the top. We're activating the whole posterior chain here. Everything squeezes up at once except for your hips. So the rowing machine here is going to get my heart rate up. It's not going to kill any one part of my body. And then with the sled and the ropes, as I pull it, it's a concentric motion only. So we're not going to kill your muscles, but it is going to get a pump going. It is going to draw a lot of blood to those working posterior chain muscles. And on the band, good mornings again here, kind of sticking to those concentric only motions. The band is not going to kill you again. We're just trying to get the heart rate up, trying to burn a lot of calories right here. All right, moving to the rope and the sled. Wait a minute, Alex, go hop on there. Yeah, come on now. No. I promise, I got you. Hop on there, man. Ready? Told you you'd be all right. So I was just saying that I hate having to take pre-workout, because when you take it, it gets your heart rate up. It's really easy to start working out. It's really easy to go hard. But then, like, if you're doing intervals or resistance training and you need to rest and you need your heart rate to drop a little bit in between sets or reps or whatever, it doesn't happen because you've got so much caffeine pumping through your system. And so you don't get as much in-workout recovery, which is more important than you think. Because the more conditioned you are, the faster your heart rate will slow after exercise, which is it's an adaptive quality of a good athlete, of a good trainee, and pre-workout kind of inhibits that. All right, so here we're in our resistance area of the workout, so we're lifting some weight. We're gonna start off with some pull-ups, and then for you people who are not real comfortable doing pull-ups, you can add a band here, which I'll show you how to do in a minute. Then we're headed over to the barbell, gonna do some deadlifts. And then lastly, we're on the TRX, we're gonna do some rows over there. So starting over here on the pull-ups, when you do these, keep your feet in front of your hips in front of your shoulders. That way your core is tight, you don't have any inefficient body parts moving around, and you're safe. So we're just gonna go 5 unassisted here, nothing crazy, slow and controlled on the way down, quick on the way up. Get your chin all the way above the bar every time. For you people who are uncomfortable with pull-ups, just throw a band across some catchers right here on the rack, step on it, and use that to help you with the pull-ups. You can do them just like this. No problem at all. Probably use both hands though. Next, moving over here to the deadlift. We're just gonna go 5 reps here. You can push the weight a little bit, but the big thing here is keep your back flat, keep your core tight, and go slow on the eccentric. Don't drop the weight. You're losing half the exercise. That's very important. Another thing, go pronated here. Don't alternate your grip. It creates an imbalance in your shoulders. Very bad form. Pull your body tight before you actually lift the weight. That way when you come up, it's a smooth transition. Slow on the eccentric, core tight before you stand up. After that, we're headed over here to the TRX. Here we're doing an AMRAP, which means as many reps as possible. We're gonna go at 3 different angles of a TRX row, just destroying your upper back and your biceps here. Big step back, go again. One more step back, going again. That's what it's supposed to look like till failure. So we've got our power posterior chain superset here. We're gonna do 3 exercises back to back to back. These are very explosive movements. They train your fast twitch muscle fibers, overall proprioception and coordination. Very advanced. Be careful with these. We're gonna do some single arm dumbbell snatches here, a little double under action. Then we have a barbell hang clean. And then we're moving to something I came up with. This is a barbell, single arm, single leg, earthquake RDL. All right, here we go. Alright guys, that wraps up our posterior chain day. We went through some cardio, we did some high intensity intervals, we did some resistance, and we did some explosion. Please don't neglect your posterior chain. It's just as important as the front side, if not more. If you liked what you saw, please like, comment below. If you have any questions, feel free to DM, email me, subscribe if you like it as well, and I'll see you next time.